It's actually scary how common it is for inmates to have smartphones. Some have even developed massive followings after sharing life behind bars, notably Jerome Combs. However, it's important to remember that all of these guys are behind bars for a reason, and some videos have much more disturbing backstories than others. This here is one of the 10 boys responsible for killing Jack Woodley.
Damn.
Jack Woodley was a bright young man who, according to his mother, had dealt with many problems and was finally looking to make a turnaround, hoping to start with his new job at Amazon. However, before he started working, he wanted to have some fun at the Hoot and Feast in Hoot in the Spring with his girlfriend and a few friends.
Okay, at the
While
bar.
I was enjoying the ride, he met boys
something casual, something to do, you know what I'm saying?
Was recently involved.
Chilling at the fire.
What he didn't know was that one conversation on that night in October of 2021 would seal his fate.
Damn.
After enjoying one last ride, Willie began his walk home and re-encountered some of the boys he'd spoken to earlier along the way. They were reeling for a fight and challenged Jack, but he refused. Not letting it go, the boys followed him before one broke off from the rest and punched him from behind. The nine other boys
that's crazy.
almost instantly. Every boy in that group punched, kicked, or stomped on Jack, refusing to let him escape or let anyone help. As this continued, the 18-year-old had crouched down and put his hands over his head, trying to provide himself with as much protection as possible. And while Jack was severely injured, he would have been fine if that had been the extent of the attack. But then the boys had to
crazy, gang.
Get the chopper out. The chopper was a Rambo-style knife that one of the boys used to stab Jack. The first stab was aimed at his hip, and the second hit him in the back.
Why would y'all stab? I mean, that is fucking crazy. Like, why would y'all stab the boy for? He didn't even do shit to you just because he didn't want to fight, you know what I'm saying? It's like 6 of y'all against 1, you know what I'm saying? My nigga, I wouldn't fight none of y'all, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I would've, you know what I'm saying? I would've took off, you know what I'm saying? I would've been gone, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the little boy, you know what I'm saying? But damn, my nigga, why y'all have to stab him, though? Y'all these little kids some pussies on game.
With the blade passing between his ribs to puncture one of his lungs. Once the boys had finished, they left Jack to collapse in an alley next to Pretender Inn. Witnesses to the attack moved quickly and rushed him to the nearest
just
hospital.
killed that boy
Meanwhile,
for no
Jack's
kind
mom,
of
Zoe,
reason.
had yet to hear anything from her son and was pulled out of whatever she was doing when a message pinged on her phone. Instantly, dread and panic settled into her stomach, and she started rushing her husband out of the house, insisting that her son was dead. When they arrived at the hospital, Jack had just come out of a 5-hour operation. The doctor who met them prepared his parents for the worst. All his mum wanted was to see her son, but she was then met with the last thing a parent would ever want to see. The firstborn was covered in tubes of all shapes and sizes, surrounded by machines and doctors who were doing what they could to make sure he stayed alive. Desperately wishing to provide her son any kind of comfort, his mother reached out but was stopped by a doctor. Heartbroken for his family, the doctor explained that they weren't allowed to hold Jack's hands, as this would be used as evidence in the case against Jack's attackers.
Oh God, I hope they give them the death penalty.
Without comfort, Zoe was given a gown and 3 layers of gloves while they waited for Jack's next surgery. Before Jack's doctor took him into the theatre, she urged the Woodley family to say their goodbyes, unsure of whether their son would survive. 20 minutes later, Zoe, who had managed to fall asleep in the side room, was woken up with devastating news. Her son was gone. During the boys' trial, Zoe couldn't believe how unfazed they seemed. None of them seemed to realize how serious their involvement in the fight that led to Jack's death was, as they would just laugh and grin as the evidence was given out.
They would laugh when evidence was being given out.
That shit crazy. These boys laughing.
Cough and like,
wow.
To them it just seemed like it was some kind of game.
They stupid, you know, they ignorant.
Absolutely killing me, even to sit through it.
Rest in peace. I'm sorry, man.
What's wrong with them? Why do
Damn, man. These some ignorant ass kids.
So horrific. And I just think, I don't think it hit them what they'd actually done.
Like,